And in NIST rankings of facial recognition algorithms, they do derbies 2 or 3 times a year. SAFR typically ends in the top 10% in terms of recognition accuracy. And of those top 10%, it tends to be the smallest and the fastest of all those systems, which means that it can be embedded in devices, for instance, in cameras, and it means it can be run in a very cost-effective way from a computation cost standpoint. A second point that I'll make, and in these times, this point seems to be super important. We put tremendous effort on having our system have as low bias as possible. And that has a lot to do with our algorithms. It has a lot to do with our training data. So NIST actually does an analysis of how these systems do in recognizing different cohorts. They have their own definition of who are in cohorts, typically ethnic cohorts and racial cohorts. And by their measures, we have one of the lowest biases of any system, which is to say our accuracy is uniform across different cohorts and different subsets. And that's very important to us because any of these systems have very significant social and policy implications. So we want to make sure that our system is accurate no matter how it's used. A related point is many facial recognition systems choose to characterize people in a number of different ways. We do some of the ones that we think are objectively based, like gender and age, which are generally recognizable phenomena. We also will do sentiment analysis, which is typically more useful for aggregate basis. But we do not, and we never will, if I have anything to do with it, implement ethnic classification in our software. For many, many reasons, longer topic than today, other than to say we're dealing with times right now where systemic bias is one of the topics that's at the fore after the tragic murder of George Floyd in particular, as well as other things that have happened. We have built into our system no ability to characterize ethnicities because we think that that is a tool that tends to be misused and mischaracterized.